Alright, we are back on the Mana Symbol channel playing a little bit of a donation deck. We've got I Hereby Vow Zombardment. So, Vow, of course, reference to our new set, Crimson Vow, V-O-W. There's a new card in the Zombardment deck, Headless Rider, which says, whenever Headless Rider or another non-token zombie you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So, Zombardment, of course, is reference to Goblin Bombardment, newly printed into Modern as of Modern Horizons 2. Free repeatable sacrifice effect for 1 and a red. You can sacrifice any creature, deal 1 damage to any target. Seems pretty good. And this paired up with a bunch of zombie creatures that either gain some triggers via your Undead Augur. You get free tokens from Jadar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia. We get Geralf's Messenger, which comes back twice and drains your opponent for 2 each time. Dreadhorde Butcher has a death trigger, and then of course Carrion Feeder. Gravecrawler. As long as you have a zombie in play, you can just bring this back over and over and over and over again for a single black mana. So for once you have a zombie in play, if you got a Gravecrawler going, every black mana you have can either be 1 damage to anything with Goblin Bombardment, or put a +1/+1 counter on your Carrion Feeder, which can also be drawing you cards with Undead Augur. It can also be creating more tokens with Headless Rider. So with Goblin Bombardment and Headless Rider in play, every time you sacrifice a non-token zombie, you get 2 pings, basically, because you can now sacrifice the token afterwards, which kind of makes the Headless Rider like you get to play Mayhem Devil as long as all your creatures are zombies, which in this case they are. We've got Champion of the Perished. This is Champion of the Parish, but for zombies. And then we've got a 1 of Anathemancer. So when it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target player equal to the number of non-basics they control. So Price of Progress, eat your heart out. It also has Unearth for 7 mana. And then we've got 3 Furies. We've got enough cards to pitch to it, and sometimes we're just going to end up casting it when the games go longer. Sideboard includes Prismatic Endings for all manner of things like Rest in Peace or Sanctifier Omvec. Sudden Edict is, I assume, for things like Murktide, Regent, or perhaps other big, beefy, terrifying things that we can otherwise not have a lot of ways to remove. And then we've got Alpine Moon, Deflecting Palm, Murktide, and Reanimator. Makes sense. I think if Reanimator has gotten the creature into play, it can already be a problem, but certainly for Murktide. And then Deflecting Palm, really reasonable against Hammer Time and any other creatures with big, or any other decks with big things in it. Especially out of this like tribal deck, they're probably not going to expect it. Leyline for Reanimator, Belcher, and Living End. Yep. So I guess we don't want Leyline against Murktide, even though I feel like it's really good against them. I'll look at the sideboarding when we get there, because obviously DRC and Ragavan are really not a problem for this deck, so maybe we do want Leyline there. Leyline and Edict. Yeah, Anathemancer is definitely something. I know Mord to Light wants to play this guy with Ephemerate. Obviously not in this deck because you don't have enough other ETB triggers of any kind, but... You might run a Malakir Rebirth effect? You could, yeah. Isn't there one in the new set that's Undying Evil, but since it doesn't give it an Undying, it's actually better? Yeah. I mean, Malakir Rebirth definitely has an appeal to it. I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to run Undying Evil, I think there's a better one now. And it's called Undying Malice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Malakir Rebirth also requires you to lose 2 life. Oh, we're against Kanyeki. Well, fuck. He's grinding trophies on 4-color Blink. I don't think this is good enough against Solitude. This one's closer. Oh, I didn't build this deck, Carrion Lich. I did not build this deck. Oh. Don't you know you gotta vote the monkey? Ooh yeah, vote the monkey. Vote the monkey. Force of Negation, my bolt. Deal. Well, crap. Yes. Keep damaging yourself, canister. Of course, at this point, yeah, we're gonna be in trouble if they keep having counter spells and or removal. This is why I didn't play the Urborg, by the way, because it makes it harder for them to steal cards off my deck. Okay, so it's very easy for me to be dead on over the next 2 turns. If he's got a counter spell, he probably fires it off here. Heat. Okay, so we're going to 4 here. He's got 3 cards in hand. Undead Augur is basically off now. This can block. Funny, because a lot of our creatures can't. Yeah. Ragavan, turn 1 on the play, and we got all the way along. It's just how it goes. Yup. What is this? Oh, right. Just dead. Alright, let's see. I guess I want Deflecting Palm. Probably not. So that whole game, well, the Murktide was basically irrelevant. I just wonder if we want, like, we've got Lightning Bolt, we've got Fury for their small creatures. I really want to have Leyline too, but like obviously we could just like overboard insanely, and it's not gonna help. Um, Definitely probably don't need all 4 Goblin Bombardments. Don't bring in anything but Edict? Alright, you say so. -2 Jadar, +2 Edict? Alright. I'm happy to play the sideboarding any way that anyone tells me to. I have very little idea of the weight of these different cards. Like that game, I learned basically nothing about my deck other than turn 1 monkey with Force of Negation backup followed by 3 removal spells will beat you. So tempo deck's gonna do tempo deck things. Welcome to Legacy. Yeah, exactly. Well, Modern being Legacy light, even more so, I don't think is a problem at all. I actually am a big fan of that because I think the way Modern was for a long time was kind of like this disingenuous copy of Legacy where like the interaction was nowhere near as good, so it was just like mostly dominated by combo and hyper linear decks. And now that the answers are better, there's a lot more of a spread of different archetypes. Consider Monkey a problem since we don't all have all the same answers as Legacy, or Legacy in Legacy Monkey's the problem, because I think in Legacy Monkey's way more of a problem. That's what the impression that I've gotten from the Legacy community, which I don't play a lot of Legacy, but I listen to stuff and I see Caracas. Apparently, it's still a problem. Yeah, okay, you can want Caracas all you want, and I don't really care one way or the other. Like they decided not to put it into Modern, and I don't really have strong opinions on it. But like, Monkey is being a bigger problem for Legacy than it is for Modern right now. Yeah, I know it's because of the free counters. It's the density of cheap interaction in Legacy is differently balanced, let's say. Right. Like we don't have days, we don't have blasts, we don't have force of will. Like I think at the moment it feels like the Modern threats and answers are the most balanced they've basically ever been. And that's good. Hmm. Well, I don't love that. I could do without the monkey too. I don't like the card, but I'm not gonna say it's a problem disingenuously. I don't actually think it's a problem. I think it's obnoxious, but lots of things are obnoxious. Grief Ephemerate is obnoxious. Reanimator can be obnoxious. Enchantress can be obnoxious. Mill can be obnoxious. Burn can be obnoxious. All these things suck on different metrics, and it's like you can't just get rid of this stuff just because you don't like it. Oh, yeah, Belcher's really obnoxious with 4 main deck Blood Moon in a lot of cases. But other people have feelings about Counterspell or Solitude or, so. Nice. You think his power level is a bit too pushed? It's definitely too pushed. But, like, very powerful cards are fun and good for formats. And, um, this gives me 2 blockers in a row. Because I could get Fawned off the Goblin Bombardment. Do I think they actually kept Force Negation against me, though? Probably not. Yeah, I understand that. I'm just like, for instance, I stopped playing Legacy completely because of Monkey. Yeah, and I've heard that's not the you're not the first person who I've heard say that. It's just like support like and DRC and Wasteland and all of it all together at the same time is just too much. Like the format already supported cheap threats in an insane shell that's been like the best for a long time. And for that to just be the same thing all over again, I think a lot of people have a problem with that. Oh god, they have the Murktide. Okay. So we just haven't gotten anything going in any games here. Hmm. Like champion into Geralf's Messenger? You can actually race this? I mean, I need to shock. I think champion into Geralf's Messenger is the way to do it. So we can attack for 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Well, I need the bombardment to resolve, and I have no way to do that. Um, so we play Anathemancer first. To get the +1 on champion and go to combat. Sack the fire islet in response. I definitely have lethal, but there's just no way that this Goblin Bombardment is going to resolve, right? Mm-hmm. So Murktide is still one of the best decks in the format, and we got smashed. I think if we had the second Cavern, would have been okay there. So I play Carrion Feeder before combat, which means I get to attack. They go to 3. No, not quite. 1 short. So it's okay. It's nothing to feel bad about losing one of the best players on one of the best decks. Messenger 2 damage or 2. Yeah, exactly. There are draws where we could have won. I don't think I can keep this. I also think we probably should have boarded in that. I can't keep this either. Well, I guess I can. Yeah, this is better than the first one. Gotta be a little hopeful. Um, but I personally feel like we should have had the ley lines in, but there's only 3, so then you have to mulligan, and it's like I just don't know. I'm not sure. And again, like Deflecting Palm can be really good against aggressive decks like that, but then they had to counter anyway, so like 2 Sudden Edict is got like that can't possibly be good enough most of the time. Oh, it's burn. Hmm. This is much worse than most of the decks I was expecting to see. It's burn. It's always been burn. Best draw ever? Oh, it was pretty good, but spike me. Sure. Skewer me. Okay. We haven't zombarded anyone yet, last god, but God willing we will. I can't take that damage, that's why I'm doing this. Well, that does seem awful, but also awesome. So I've got the Fury, so if I don't hit a land off the zombie token... Yikes. Oh, I definitely need the cards. That's why I did it. I don't think I need this zombie or this Goblin Bombardment. I think I need the 2 lightning bolts over the 2 turns. Grow, my Carrion Feeder. Grow! I shouldn't have 6 here. So spear, sure. Boris charm me? Sure. I have no problem with Boris. Yikes! So if I sack it now... Yeah, we have lethal next turn. Can't block anyway, so... So, almost definitely dead. But, maybe not. Looking good. Looking good for the home team. Uh-oh. Gravecrawler. Xaxes? Nice. Stealing games, baby. Taking names, taking games. Next time a source. This can't be good enough, right? But maybe? My sideboard plan versus Bernays lose. Yeah, I've been there. Like, I feel like I can't possibly... Yeah. Exactly. Like, I feel like usually when I play against Burn, it's like, I will draw exactly 1 creature in my largely creatureless deck, and they'll have the Searing Blaze for it. Exactly 1. They'll never be flooded on them. They will have exactly the right number. I mean, let's just do it again. Let's just steal a game again in one of these next ones. I'll tell you one thing. This league has been real smooth, real quick. All right, we're on the draw. If I don't hit a land on 2, still probably okay. If they don't play a creature threat on one, I might grab a tap land. Never mind. Okay. Spell-based hand. Spell-based hand is okay. Okay. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut myself off of Bombardment for now. And Bolt. Because I can put all of my mana into damage from this point on. And we have Fury to pitch. Well, okay. Remember that card we said that they didn't draw and that was really nice? Yeah, they drew it. Good draw. So, sacking this now gives me +1 damage, but next turn, instead of attacking with it, just playing it each time gives me more damage. So the only reason not to sacrifice this now to Carrion Feeder is if I think they have a bolt. But I have a second Carrion Feeder anyway. I like forcing the bolt on the Carrion Feeder. So if they have a bolt here and they bolt my Carrion Feeder, I am totally okay with this. Oh. Or they could just not. Also acceptable. Yeah. If they fetch Shock Bolt or... Okay. Sack to draw. This is very lethal. And I say... They could have Deflecting Palm against me. I also haven't fetched in a way that will let me cast Deflecting Palm. Okay, they just missed their window to kill my Champion of the Perished. I mean, unless they do actually have Deflecting Palm. And kudos to them if they brought that in. Like, I'm gonna give it to them. Not mad. Not even a little bit. I too like watching Burn lose. Mostly because I just know so many kind of joyless Burn players. I guess if they have a Helix here, I miss. One more damage won't do it. We'll be one short. Path. Word. And I don't have a mountain. Yeah, that was a good one. Do I want to put him to 3? Does putting them to 3 matter? Oh, I should have sacked there. Idiot. I wanted the land, but I don't need it. But largely speaking, it just turns into more Gravecrawler damage for next turn. So if I put them to 4... Or gotten a mountain? No, I can't get a mountain. There is no mountain. As I commented on it when I grabbed it. I wanted a mountain. I didn't realize I didn't have one. Which, there's a good reason this deck doesn't play a mountain, but... So putting them to 3... If they manage to put a blocker... Oh, I'm just going to Fury the blocker. So putting them to 4 is probably fine. I can't imagine them getting to block. So they've gotten themselves enough space to go Boris Charm, Bolt. Anyway, my point about Burn is this, like, I feel like there are some wonderful Burn players out there in the world, but, like, most of the ones I've met are just, like, pretty joyless, and they just play it because they think it's good. Yeah, this is definitely nonsense. Yeah. The thing is, though, like, I feel like an uninitiated Burn player is not going to do particularly well. Yeah, I just unsideboard here. And again, like, I don't feel like Burn is very fun to give to a new player. Maybe it's okay. I don't particularly find it fun, so maybe I have... FNM, it's usually okay. Yeah. Pretty easy 2-2. Do I play the Gravecrawler on 1? Then get hit by Taylor? But I have to fetch shock anyway eventually. I think we just ignore the Gravecrawler for now. Never a Goblin Guide. It's never a Goblin Guide. Jeez. Go! Dreadhorde Butcher. Don't you dare Searing Blaze this. Rip Bolt. Oh, that's so good. Smash! Who's the burn deck now, nerd? Alright, this is the game where we want to rip the Goblin Bombardment. Yeah, Butcher is really sweet. Claim Fame would be fun with Butcher. That's a good draw. No, there's no vials in this deck. I think there's definitely like a velocity issue in this deck. And I really don't have enough experience to understand what to do about... Yikes. Oh, I really needed that. You can't play Vials with Ragavan in the world? I don't think that's a one-for-one translation, but I will say, like, I don't want to play Aether Vial in the Chalice of the Void Prismatic Ending metagame. Like, blue-white means I really don't want to play Aether Vial. Ragavan is not a factor so much in me not wanting to do that. Hey, Barbecue Hoss. You've been zombified, opponent. Yeah, the problem though is like Aether Vial is gonna make you keep hands sometimes, where you just get blown out by the Prismatic Ending, which is fine, but like it's just not something I enjoy. Got him. Oh no, we might be against Wafo. Okay, good. He was queued. Wonder if there could be a fun Coco Humans list similar to Spirits, keeps a lot of the power without vials. I mean, there's definitely like a Bant Coco list. It's not like humans, because the human tribal payoffs require like a density and a curve. So like, yes but no, I guess is the TLDR. It's like you can definitely play like Bant non-spirits, but I think there's probably some 3-drops you want to play. Yeah, we won. They had a 1-lander in game 3. Luris. Okay. More monkey. It's probably Spike's deck, right? Vulture monkey. Bubble you? Okay. Okay. So this is them holding up removal, right? So let's play Bombardment first. Yeah. So we give them nothing to interact with there. And now everything we play, we can interact with more favorably. Gravecrawler. Now, if they start killing my creatures, I get to draw several cards. Outgrinding Black-Red Luris? Well, it's more likely than you think. Don't you two-rock me? They're gonna two-rock me, aren't they? Be kind. God damn it. Just the absolute worst. And just like that, we're back to, well, worse than parity. Land off the top would have been good, but not that. Beat it. Okay. One land, please. Off the top of my library. Did I sack the Gravecrawler? Yeah. I wanted to draw 2 cards at that point. It made more sense to me than trying to hold on to a Gravecrawler. Yeah, I did. To go up on cards on them. Because they were like getting quite low, and it felt like that was the right way to pivot myself into a very advantaged position. And I would have been fine here if I had top deck a land last turn. This is painful, but more than good enough. So it's better to do this is 2 damage dealt to Turok. Yeah, that's a totally acceptable, choice for your life there, Barbecue Hoss. It's the right way to do it. Okay, so we just do this. Discard this. Oh! Ah! Turok. Alright. I can still kill it. It's just more work. Things I don't remember about how Turok works until they happen to you. Just think turning the Gravecrawler sideways is more important. They have to spend a card, and eventually you'll get the card back, and then you get to attack with it. I didn't agree, but I don't know the dynamics of this matchup at all, right? So like, if they go all in on this Den of the Bugbear, am I supposed to slam them for 2 damage to the dome and kill the Den with Geralf's Messenger? Probably not. But I've got like a Carrion Feeder into the Gravecrawler next turn, which seems really good. So it's like, what am I holding the Geralf's Messenger for? I guess to just hit them for 3 again. But the Goblin token would be kind of... Jeez. Well. Yeah. This is an interesting choice from them. I had 1 card in hand, and they decided to shock my Geralf's Messenger instead. And they picked up a Ragavan there. If they dash the Ragavan, I'm just taking the hit and then cracking them back for 4. Woof. Definitely Leyline. They have infinite removal for that. Anathemancer's fine. Are they gonna bring in like engineered explosives? Probably. No, I really like Leyline against them. If they're on Spike stack, they're a Lurrus stack. They're playing Kroxa. They're playing Kolaghan's Command. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel strongly about this card after game ones. It's like not very good. Yeah, I think Leyline's very, very good against Black Red Lurrus. But like got the Furies for 2 endings? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I like that. Where are you? Zombies, vampires, mono red, wandering. What? Where the hell is his deck? There you are, red, black, rock. Three Croxes. Heat. Well, this is why I'm not an this is why I'm not an aggressive game player at all. 4 dogs in a horse suit. All right. Take the bombardment. I understand, opponent. You can't remove that card. It's okay. We boarded in ley lines. We're never going to see them. Like, that's definitely going to be the way this goes. Or we're going to draw one now, which would be, of course, very bad. They top. So no DRC flip. I'd like to draw a land here. Good shit. Tapped Shrine. Pass it back. So I don't want to swing the Butcher into this. I think they take that trade. And I think it's bad for me. That's another reason why. Attacks with both. Perfect. Okay, so worst case scenario, they hit land into KCOM. Because this is just not big enough. Yep. But it's certainly not big enough for that. But the most important thing is when it dies, it doesn't kill the DRC. Yield. Okay. Cavern off the top? Cavern, anybody? Alright. I mean, I'll take it. Hey, Badagaboosh! Hello. Don't listen to King Ghidra, he's a bad influence. Not today, Satan. Put a counter on it. It's not there anymore. Whatever. That was the Heloj. Because King Ghidra was going off on all the different emotes yesterday. Well, that's annoying. I guess I gotta kill that and keep getting beat to hell by this DRC. But I can't not. Alright. Cavern off the top, please. One time. I'm using my one time. Cavern. Bang. Alright, you know what? I'll take it. Deal. So this puts them to 10. The attack puts them to 7. Anathemancer puts them to 4. Almost there. Almost there. Oh no, I mean, obviously you wouldn't know. I was just in case that you had been here. All right, now we're on the song requests. Blackleaf Cliffs off the top. Not the best. Oh, it's good, but I guess it puts them dead next turn. And the question is, I think I have to save the Bolt for the DRC because they can't take the Geralf's Messenger off the table without. Yeah, we just pass here and then Anathemancer kills them next turn. Like, if they wake up Den of the Bugbear to try to kill me, we just kill them with Bolt. If they KCOM here, I'll be able to Bolt the DRC. They're putting it upstairs. Okay. So if they also rip the land or a Bolt or a Monkey's fine. Oh no. Yeah, Monkey's fine. Okay, we should take this at 1 life. Unless they hit something off the top of our deck. Goblin Bombardment, Bolt. Not that one. We got him. For Xaxes again. We found the Leyline, guys! Boop! Price of progress. If Leyline was a spell they could cast, we'd lose. Thanks for the follow there, Grease Monkey. Gazurma. Wow, this might be one of the better hands we've drawn. Like it actually has mana. I think Ice Fang Kotal is a good card right now. It's decent as a Urian target, but I can't get that touch till very late game. I don't think it's particularly good, but I do love playing it. I don't think it's very good, but I think there are decks where it's, I don't know if we call it a necessary evil or when I tried playing Temur Reclamation with and without them, it didn't feel like it was like a huge bonus in power level either way. Or like not a huge bonus, but it's like I didn't feel like I was gaining like a huge amount by not playing it, and I also didn't feel like I was like gaining a huge amount when I did play it. I like having a proactive turn 2 flash play in my like blue green deck. Because Snapcaster's not really that. 4-color Urian Footfalls, huh? Okay, so Bombardment here? Then next turn I get to do stuff? Yeah, I love Dasserlabe, and I'm still heartbroken at the loss. But what are you gonna do? Well, that sucked. But I mean, okay, they don't have another Cascader, or they're sandbagging the Cascade for when I attack if it's Violent Outburst. I don't think I can afford to attack here with my Champion of the Perished. So if they Rhinos me... Oh, okay. Well. Not my decision anymore. Got it. Glad. Thank you. Very helpful opponent. No, that's a really good draw. I think I'm going to go ahead and shock because I'm only one land off of drawing into and casting a Fury. But I do... I guess this could come down to a race pretty soon. Yeah. I think they're more likely to let this resolve without playing a piece of removal. They have the... Oh. Bolt... No, hold on. Okay. Okay. So if we had that bombardment, we really would have comboed them out basically now. We still might be able to take this though. But it's definitely looking like something. I guess I should have played the Headless Rider this turn instead of the Geralf Messenger. It's like slightly better right now if I get Furied. Because we're about to set up a pretty crazy engine. Yeah. Oh no, they have Hyper Jomnath. Jesus. Yup. Yeah, Gravecrawler Headless is definitely something. No! They were dead? 1, 2, 3, 4. Not seeing it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. 6? Yeah. I see it. We'll still probably get them next turn, though. Yeah, I see it. But, like... Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is more risk now because they have the Omnath. They could gain 4 life. Or 8 life. Which will be problematic. Yeah. I screwed that up. So that's a win on paper, but... Tragedy? No. That's not a tragedy. Alright, we take the hit here. Yep. Yeah, I just wasn't even looking for it as usual. Like I was looking at how to put out a board of enough value that we could make them feel pressured into losing rhinos on blocks where we could win. But we could have just killed them. Nope. Ah, okay. All right. I'm really distracted by the grating sound quality and the fact that I miss lethal. All right, and the cards moving around. Anyway, that not an excuse for playing like crap there. All right, so Prismatic Ending, no. Again, basically feels like we have like next to no sideboard cards. Yeah, I mean it's fine. Like again, it was a W on paper. If you knew the deck better, you would have gotten the kill. If one knew the deck better, one would have gotten the kill, and I am not that person. because I wasn't looking for it there. Once we lost the bombardment, I felt like we had to play a fair game, and I just wasn't paying attention there. I think we don't sideboard again. Like, none of this is good. It's like Edict could be, but I mean, footfalls again. 80 card deck always drawing their footfalls, huh? So what do they got this game? Fury? No Fury. Brazen Borrower? Ugh. Brutality. Hey, Brian. Oh, Gravecrawler's getting in there. It's a Savannah Alliance. It's an incredibly balanced Magic card. Unfortunately, we're not playing against someone playing balanced Magic cards. It's almost a monkey. Is it? It just has downsides, exactly. Hey, now, it's also got upsides. They're not anywhere near as good, but it technically has them. That's a sweet looking token. All right. Oh, taking that. Yeah. Versus control, this deck is pretty well set up in a few different ways, but here feeling a tad hopeless. It's like if they have a violent outburst here, I'm gonna be in huge trouble. For a number of reasons, actually. The hell is this? Altar of Dementia over Bombardment. I don't think that's a good idea, but why is that a good idea? Sell me. Oh, that's a beating. On every possible axis. Yeah. Well, no, I just can't attack. Like ever. Unless I draw a red card and then attack anyways. Well, hold on. There we go. Modern Keys are brutal. I mean, it's just the tier 1 decks are a lot better than everything else. Oh, but now I can't. Oh, I should have pinged with one. I can't do any damage without dying. It doesn't matter anymore. Again, they had endurance, they had solitude, they had double rhinos. Like we're just not beating that deck there. Can I attack with Fury and Ephemerate after the first strike damage? You can. You definitely can. I mean, the thing is, though, like, you say the modern Qs are brutal, but it's just like the tier 1 decks in the format are very, 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 very good. And, like, we lost to Murktide and we lost to 4-color Yorion Rhinos. And, like, those decks are excellent for a reason. They trash any mediocre creature deck. And this is definitely in the range of, like, very medium creature decks. Yeah, yeah. And both those matchups we had what felt like a very loose sideboarding plan. Because fundamentally what our deck is doing just is not powerful enough against things like Fury, against things like Solitude. I should have gotten the game 1 there though, and that would have given us a game 3 to maybe work with. Like the deck won game 1. Threw away 2 games versus no, 1 game, right? All right, you're probably right. 4 dogs and a horse suit. Like again, if you spend a lot of time on the deck, then you can get more of the margins. And it's definitely like feels like reasonably powerful. Is this Dredge, or is this? And we beat Black Red Luris and Burn, so like it's pretty good. It's just tough. This has got to be Dredge, right? Oh, it's Jun's Sacrifice. So it's like a semi-mirror match. Weird. Well, let's. This is my only other red card. Let's play Headless Rider here, right? Because this gives me something if they start killing my creatures. I guess it has 1 toughness, which is not a good selling point. So if they have like Bloodghast here, oh, they can't have Bloodghast into land drop. That's good. I guess Spiromancer. Sudden Edicts in the sideboard for Murktide, apparently. Mayhem Devil. Okay. No. So clearing the devil before combat just gets my Headless Rider killed. Let's do this first. And then I play Messenger and then clear the Devil. So they can kill my Headless Rider here. I don't really care. Killing my Geralf Messenger is a terrible choice. Evoke counts as a sacrifice. It does, but I stacked it correctly so that I wouldn't take the extra damage. We definitely want these. I think we want these, although I probably shouldn't overboard. Goblin Bombardment is really bad here if they have a Mayhem Devil. Well, it's not really bad if they have Mayhem Devil, but it's like reasonably bad if they have Mayhem Devil. I'll probably cut the bolts for the endings, basically. Oh, maybe Champion's like the worst creature. No, Jadar is. One toughness is verboten here. Okay, back in 1 second. Oh yeah. Cutting bolts? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Yeah. Seems okay to me. But maybe I'm like incredibly wrong. I guess bolting the Mayhem Devil is important. Going down on red cards with Fury in my deck seems like a bad idea. Maybe we can't go toe to toe with them in the late game. I just like couldn't see creatures in the deck that I really wanted to cut. Bombardment against the Mayhem Devil deck seems bad. Although I guess, yeah, keeping the bolt. Kind of hard to be playing Jiggy's deck and getting good with a good deck or testing the crap out of my Ninja deck. Well, Jiggy's deck is a very good deck. If we're gonna be Citrus Supplier and Unholy Heat. 4-color Urian Control, no blink. I haven't played that yet, but it looks really good. I'm like a person who likes blue white, so that deck seems like it's like the greedier version of blue white. Well, I assume Leyline is wrecking him a little bit. This is a parody song from 30 Rock. It is Tracy Jordan, yeah. Tracy Jordan played by Tracy Morgan? Is that right? Do I remember this correctly? Oh. Well, that's, I guess I draw most of it back. Lack of lands is not so nice, but, boy, did I just get Culling Ritualed. Good thing I played the Augur, huh? Tracy Morgan was played by Tracy Jordan? No, other way around. Tracy Jordan's definitely the name of the character. Man, I'm not actually 100%, but I'm like very certain that Tracy Jordan is the character. Not that it really matters. Yeah. I'm actually correct. I can't find lethal, but boy do I know useless, trivial information about television shows. I did really like 30 Rock, though. Show was excellent. Taught me that Alec Baldwin's actually a really, really funny actor. Because previous to that, I'd only really known Alec Baldwin as a running joke. Why kill that one? Huh? I guess I'm supposed to go just like Fury into Messenger here. Why kill that one? I don't understand the question. Killing the feeder. Oh, why did the opponent kill the feeder? I have no idea. Misled priorities? You'd augur? I think this puts them in a horrible, horrible spot, doesn't this? If they culling ritual, they die? Literally die? They can't kill my creatures, and they can't not kill my creatures. See, I can set up for lethal if I'm looking for it. Feeder's a strictly worst creature, but they over prioritize the fact that it was a sack outlet, I guess. There we go. I mean, yeah, if they do have an out, but they didn't have an out there, right? Like, if they kill my creatures, they die. If they don't kill my creatures, they die. So yeah, this was it's pretty good. You know what? I was a bit down on it after getting spanked by rhinos, but like, I would say Jadar seems really awful compared to Gravecrawler. It's just bad. I know you need a high enough density of red cards to play Fury. I think you want the 4th Headless Rider and the 4th Champion of the Perished, probably, though. Dreadhorde Butcher seemed really okay. Is there an argument for Mirror in the board? There's arguments for all sorts of changes to the sideboard. I have no idea what you want to do with the sideboard. So I feel like Alpine Moon, I guess it's fine for both Tron style decks and Tron style decks and Saga decks, which could theoretically like get into a grind fight with you. Yeah, I think Void Mirror to try to beat elementals might be the best choice for the sideboard. It's like it's not great because they play like prismatic endings and other ways to kill it a lot of the time. They can bounce it with Teferi, which puts you really far behind, but I just don't like. Your friend plays Zombie Colossus in a slimmer deck. I don't think that card is good enough for Modern, but Also, we're already kind of jammed up on the best threes. I think you went Diregraph Colossus, right? I'm pretty sure that's the name of the card. Yeah. It's like a 2/2, and it gets +1/+1 counters for each zombie in your graveyard. Whenever you cast a zombie spell, create a 2/2. I mean, I think Headless Rider is just a better version of that. Yeah. I think Headless Rider is just a better version of that because this works with the creatures you already have in play. So when you go curve of 1, 2, 3, with any of this curve, when you hit the Headless Rider, all of a sudden you're gonna make this many tokens if they don't kill something in response. This deck is hard because like you're playing into this field that's like oops all removal because everyone wants to beat the monkey. And Goblin Bombardment definitely helps you do that. Yeah, I think the fourth Headless Rider and the fourth Champion of the Parish would probably be good. And Anathemancer, like, feels like it's a pretty good late game tool, but like we're never getting to 7 mana with this deck, right? Yeah, Colossus was like a good standard card, but Headless Rider is just gonna be better here, and Geralf's Messenger is just too efficient. Although I've heard people, I want to say it was Ari Lax on Dominaria's Judgment was talking about a deck like this and was saying like he doesn't want to play the Geralf's Messengers because it's clunky and slow. I think it's possible, like if you cut the Geralf's Messengers and you cut the Furies, and then maybe you can cut the Bolts to try to like just get into more of this zombie engine. Like you're playing less good cards, and all of a sudden you're going to be like way higher on synergy, I suppose, which is probably not the right place to be. But at the same time, like maybe it's worth exploring that synergy. Like, you don't see the Asmo decks trying to play, like, Lightning Bolts and Furies. And obviously it's more, Yeah, I'm not saying you should cut Fury. I'm just saying, like, it would be interesting to see how powerful this engine can be without these cards that, like, don't really add to it. You know what I mean? And the answer is almost definitely that it's just better to play a higher density of good cards. So, anyway, if you are in the future watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and watch any of the videos like. Tell me how much you were bothered by my throwing, and then criticism of the deck for being crapulent after that fact, because obviously that wasn't the deck's problem. And this was shockingly good.